Hey guys, welcome back. First of all, before I start this video, I want to thank all my supporters who've joined my membership for 99 cents a month. That shows that you value my videos and appreciate them. Even if you're not joined, I know you still appreciate my videos. But anyway, thanks again to the new subscribers and new members. Today's video is about what to look for when you're buying a used snowblower. I've made videos about this in the past, but I want to make it again. When you're watching the video, if you think I forgot anything to mention as to what to watch for when you buy a used machine, this is all about a used machine, please comment below because all your comments are appreciated. I cannot always get back to your comments or Facebook posts and all that. It's because I am just swamped in work, so don't take it personally. I wish I could, but there's only so much time in a day. So what I want to do here is I'm going to show you a few machines here in the shop because I got quite a few. I'm going to mention things that you should watch for. And it's not just about the machine, it's also about how it's been maintained, has it been left outside, etc. All that stuff. I'm going to go through that and then that'll give you an idea as to what to watch when you're buying a used machine. The first thing I want to mention in this video is if you can afford to buy a new machine, that's the best way to go. This video is for people who can't afford to buy a new machine, but if you're going to buy a new machine, call your small engine mechanic. And I tell my customers, if you're going to buy a new machine, please call me first because there are new machines out there that you should not buy. They're complete junk. Some shops won't even work on them. Some of them are extremely hard to get parts for. So just keep that in mind and always resist the urge to buy the cheapest machine that you can find because that will end up causing you problems in the future. And what I mean by that is the parts availability and shops who will not work on that machine. You're better to buy a good machine if you buy it new. So I'm going to get right into what you should look for when you're buying a used snowblower. Okay, the very first thing you should look at is the price, obviously. A lot of machines are on Facebook Marketplace. Some people will profess to be small engine repair shops when they're just working out of a gravel driveway. You want to make sure that the machine, if they say that it's been maintained and serviced, that it's been maintained by somebody who actually knows what they're doing. Also, you want to make sure that it's not overpriced and that it's in good shape. The first thing you want to look at, like I said, is the price, but also has it been maintained in its life? Was it left outside? Was it kept into a shop? Is it an old machine that somebody scrapped? Somebody picked it off the side of the road and didn't really service it properly, but they're charging you an arm and a leg for it. Look at the price of a new machine compared to what you're paying for used. And let me tell you guys this, if you're not buying a used snowblower from a reputable small engine shop that has actually serviced the machine properly, you're going to end up having to spend money on the machine you're buying. I see it all the time here in the shop. People come to me, they say, saw this machine on the side of the road, I bought it, and sometimes they did a half-assed, a quick paint job to cover up the rust and stuff. People bring it here and they end up needing a lot of parts. Again, I'm speaking from experience here. I'm not putting down anybody who sells snowblowers from the side of the road. So it's getting a bit dark here. It's about 4:30 in the week here, the first week of December. I want to show you a machine here that's been left outside. And the way I can tell is that there's moss growing on the machine. There's no belly pan. It does not start. The pull cord's broke. The wheels are seized because the rust got into the gears on this one. This one has all the gears inside. The transmission. Be very, very wary about buying a machine like this. Personally, I wouldn't do it if I were you guys because you're going to spend probably more than what you're paying for it to fix it. This is the Canadian Tire certified machine. I do not recommend these. Most professional shops will not work on these because what happens is you spend more time, more labor hunting down the parts, and most shops will charge you for that. Most shops are over $100 an hour, and they will charge you for wasting time on the internet and calling a certified or Canadian Tire company, whatever it might be in the States or in Canada. It's Canadian Tire. It's farmed out to another company. You can spend at 45 minutes to an hour on the phone trying to get parts for these. I wouldn't buy this at all. I only took this in because it's a very, very good customer. Normally, I do not take them in. And like I said, most good shops will not, because they already know they're going to lose their shirt on that. So if I sell a used snowblower, I've gone through the whole machine. If I'm selling it, I go through it. If it's for a customer, it's on consignment, and I warn the person buying it, you're not buying it from me, you're buying it from my customer. But I go through the entire machine and I give people a 30-day warranty. That's pretty well the standard across the industry. And most of the time, guys, I sell machines that I've serviced, and so do other good shops that I know. They'll sell a machine they've serviced, you know, grease, belts, plug, oil, cheaper than what you're going to find on Facebook Marketplace more often than so. So just keep that in mind, guys. If you buy it on Facebook from a guy you don't know, you have nothing to go back on. You can maybe leave bad feedback, but that's not a good idea anyways. You're better to buy it from a small engine shop that you trust, that does good work and doesn't gouge people. They will have gone through the machine, and if it's a reasonable breakdown within that 30 days, they will be more than fair with you. But on Facebook, guys, if you buy something, you're on your own. Oftentimes, people will buy stuff on Facebook, overpay, they didn't know, and then they're too embarrassed to tell their friends what happened. But if you're a business like me, you do have some leverage there, because a reputable business wants to keep a good reputation. But make sure you treat that shop good, though, because they will come good for you if there's an issue with that used machine, but it's got to be reasonable. So belts and wearable items, like if you blow the auger belt because the impeller was frozen, that will not be a warranty item. Just remember that. But you will have way more help if you get an issue than if you just bought it from a guy on Facebook or on the side of the road. Now, these machines here, I'll just give you an example. Briggs & Stratton, I personally don't really like these, but I do work on them. They've been hard to get parts for. This year, 2025, has been a bit easier than 2024. Last year, I was stuck waiting months and months for basically commonly used parts on these machines. So again, I highly recommend that you go watch the video in my video description on which machines that I recommend if you're going new. Another thing I'm going to tell you guys is when you go to buy a used snowblower, make sure it runs. Do not buy a used snowblower thinking it's just going to be the spark plug or the fuel line. Most people selling a snowblower, if it was just the spark plug and the fuel line, they would have replaced that. So if you do want to buy a machine that is not running, do not pay much for it. And when I say not much, I mean not much. Also, another thing you want to watch is the machine all rotted? Is it tearing apart? Is the whole auger shell here falling apart, or really spongy and really like easy to twist? And on some older MTDs like this, what you got to watch is often right here, it'll start cracking, and sometimes the front auger housing will split from the transmission, and that will make your belts come off the auger pulley. Also, I had another guy here from town that does what I do, nice guy, because I provide him with parts. He was just here before I made the video. He said, make sure that the wheels are not seized on the drive axle. Now, when you go to buy a used machine, you know, it's kind of hard to tell all that, but bring a friend that's a real mechanic with you. And the reason I say about watching for the wheels not being seized is if you need transmission work, it's a lot easier and quicker to remove the wheels to do that work. And if the wheels are seized, it really, really increases the labor, like by hours, because you may have to cut the shaft, or you may have to pay somebody with an acetylene torch to remove the wheels, and sometimes that doesn't always work either. So what I recommend, guys, is if the wheels are seized, and usually that's from lack of maintenance, a good shop that services your machine every year will put grease or anti-seize back on the drive axle for the wheels, thus making it easier for the next guy or the same shop that works on it. So you got to watch that. You also want to make sure your electric starter works if you can't pull. If the electric starter does not work on the machine you're looking at to buy, that really decreases the price of that machine, because most starters are about, depending if you buy aftermarket or OEM, they range between $150 and $300 here in Canada. We always overpay for parts here. US, it's a lot cheaper. It's way more affordable. Now, some things you can expect when you buy a used machine is if you didn't buy it from a shop that is reputable, you will more than likely have to replace belts, auger cable, drive cable, rubber drive ring, drive disc, stuff like that. That's to be expected. It's like buying a used car. You know you will probably have to replace the tires and a lot of stuff on it. It's the same with a snowblower. For the most part, you will not be buying a machine that does not need anything. Unless you buy it from somebody you knew, a neighbor or a relative that really looked after it and got it serviced every year, then you might get lucky and have no issues. But overall, again, guys, it's like buying a used car. Another thing you may want to check is if the tires are flat and they don't have a tube in them, you will have to put a tube to permanently fix that flat tire. Okay, one really important thing I want to mention here is look at the condition of the augers over here. If the auger blades are all bent, be careful because they may be rubbing on the auger housing. Make sure if you buy a machine that runs that you test everything. Preferably if there's snow, test it out. Make sure you don't hear noise when you push down the drive lever or the auger lever. The next very important thing that you need to check with the machine off, of course, is come down here, grab the impeller shaft and move it up and down. If it's tight like this, once I can't really get any play in here, that means that the impeller bearing is good. If you grab this and you can move it and you hear a clunking noise because there's so much play, that means that your impeller bearing, is worn out. Sometimes it can be so worn out that it wore out the auger housing. All the flanges that hold the bearing may be worn out, and most of the time that bearing will be seized on the impeller shaft, which will add more labor to the small engine shop doing your repair. Now, if you buy a machine and you can do all these repairs, you're going to save a ton of money, guys. So I do tell people, if you're buying a used basket case snowblower, make sure you know how to fix it. So sometimes I sell scrap units to people just to get my money back from my diagnostic fees. But I tell them, look guys, if you're buying this from me, you're getting it cheap. It's as is, don't bother me after, and do what you want with it. So some of these guys are good. They're able to, buy a machine for $100 and fix it up. But if you don't know how to do any repairs, guys, stay away. And like I said at the beginning of the video, if you can afford new and you don't know how to do any repairs, call your preferred small engine shop and ask them what's the best make a snowblower to buy and just go new. Believe me, in the end, it will save you money. So to end off the video, guys, when you're buying a used machine, you are taking a risk. Just think about it like a used car. When I buy a used car, I try to buy it with a bit of warranty on it. Even if it's from a dealer that'll give me 30 days. Even 30 days gives you a bit of peace of mind. But again, most reputable shops will give you 30 days within reason, as long as it's not caused by the user. So again, bring a friend that's a real small engine mechanic with you, or watch some YouTube videos. Keep this video handy with you. Now just remember, when you go look at a machine, some people might get a little annoyed if you look at every single thing. So just remember, you're taking a chance and make an offer. If they want $400 and you think it's only worth $300 or $250, then politely make that offer. If it's not running, guys, be extremely careful. You may want to walk away. Do not buy a snowblower that is a puzzle, all in pieces in a box, all taken apart or left outside. Thanks again for watching. Please comment below if I forgot anything, because I probably did. There's so many things to watch when buying a new machine. And make sure you're subscribed, guys, and I'll see you next time. Have a great day.